What's up, everybody? Welcome to ITG Daily, the show that brings you the hottest in gaming news. I'm Drew Bosley. You find me on Twitter at ArtisticGamer28, and that's the one, the only Scott Savage. You can find him on Twitter at Savage. Scotty, welcome back, brother. What's happening today?
Oh, I'm looking forward to getting into some good news here. We've got some interesting topics, and I'm looking forward to it. Let's just say that.
Absolutely, dude.
Some good, some maybe not so exciting, but we'll get to it.
We've got a good show today, absolutely lined up. Where you can catch it, you can go to InsideTheGame.ca, podcast services, and TV streaming networks around the globe. Dude, coming up on today's show, you ready for this? Fans are starting to question Naughty Dog about The Last of Us Part 2 multiplayer. Yeah, I think we're all kind of wondering a lot about that and what's going on.
I know
there.
You were questioning.
Oh, man, absolutely. So we got some details on that. Kind of. Horizon Forbidden West will see Aloy skills used within her gear. And Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic is coming to the Nintendo Switch.
Oh, that's a big one.
I thought you'd like that one. So
I don't believe it's a sequel, which would be great news, but in any case, I'm excited.
Yeah, I got a few things, but we'll talk about when we get there. Right now, though, Scott, Naughty Dog on The Last of Us Part 2 project. Well, here's the multiplayer status right now. In short, we're working on it. That sucks.
To the surprise of no one.
Well, that's just about it, right? Like, really, we kind of expected that. I think at this point, it's we all know they focused heavily on the story campaign of it, but let's get into the article. Well, Naughty Dog may not have revealed any new details on the upcoming Last of Us multiplayer project. It took the time on The Last of Us Day 2021 to ensure fans that it's actively working on it, and it will reveal more when it's ready. Well, shocker. Naughty Dog's Rochelle Snyder shared the news in a community update after thanking the fans and the team who have collectively made The Last of Us into a success it has become. Jokingly, Naughty Dog then included this question as a fan would write, "Yeah, that's lovely and great, Naughty Dog, but what are you doing with The Last of Us now?" Well, that's the biggest question, right? Where's the multiplayer? Are we going to get any DLC? What is left? Dude, what else? Because I've played the game so long ago, I'm done, right?
And I don't want to get into spoilers or anything like that, but is there a possibility of a sequel eventually? I don't think you could ever close the door on a series like this forever. But
no, not at all. They did bring Left Behind DLC to the first one, which was a great piece of DLC but it was shorter, right? Like, it wasn't a full-length production of the game. It was a couple hours. You'd get in and play some more Last of It. I thought it was really well done. It is really well done. Of course, it's Naughty Dog, dude. Naughty Dog's crushing it. So there's a reason why they take the time they need, and then you get it when you get it. But it is now leaving us left behind a lot to desire, waiting for more from Naughty Dog. It's the time in between that kind of sets things. But in short, we're working on it, Naughty Dog answered. We see the community comments as many of you clamor for multiplayer and want updates. For now, we'll say that we love what the team is developing and want to give them time to build out their ambitious project. We'll reveal more when it's ready. To that end, we've been busy growing our team inside the kennel since The Last of Us Part 2 launched and are currently in full swing of hiring for multiplayer related positions. Dude, this is not coming anytime soon. They're still hiring people.
No, it sounds like they have not figured out the code for it at this point. And I'm sure that is right at the start. I like how they use the terminology, the kennel. I thought that was kind of strange, and then I realized,
it's Naughty Dog.
That makes sense.
Yep. Yeah, that's damn, dude, that sucks. That really sucks. That is not what I wanted to hear. But in the heart of hearts, I kind of knew that's what I was gonna see, right? So The Last of Us Day just happened, and we were all hoping for multiplayer details. God, absolutely nothing, because they have nothing to show us. They have a game plan, and I think that's about it. They're in the early development stages, which makes me feel like we're going to be waiting still 3 years, 2 to 3 years before we even get into it.
At that point, it's obviously, even if they started working on it a year ago, then if there was a third game in the series coming, it's still not going to be ready in the time of 3 years.
No.
But maybe this will come out at a time that will kind of re-inspire the fan base, kind of rally everybody around this multiplayer, and then that gives them an idea of the popularity. I'm sure already know it's very popular, but
Yeah.
that might inspire some sort of a sequel, or maybe just a side story. I don't know. I'm hopeful. Just on the other side, I'm hopeful because I respect it as just a giant, really good series.
Oh man, yeah, absolutely. The thing, my question is, Scott, is it too little, too late? If we're coming back
Oh,
in,
that's the other side of it. Yeah.
right? Like you've left us out in the cold now for so long on anything with The Last of Us content. Now we're all clamoring, I know, for any details we can get. So the minute they drop, we're all going to jump on it. There's no doubt about it. But it still feels like, dude, like 6 months out after the game, okay, now I've had a lot of time to finish up the game, do all the stuff I want to do. I want to go trophy hunt. I can get all my trophies, get that platinum, be all good to go. Trophies for Naughty Dog games are never easy. But if you do get that far, then you can get those, and then you sit there and you wait, right? Typically, you'll wait a couple months, then you get into multiplayer. Not years, Scott. You don't typically wait years, and then another year goes by, and you're still waiting, and another year goes by, and another year, and
This reminds me of the situation with the Resident Evil Reverse,
yeah.
I believe it was titled, and that's, I don't know how long away like that. It's been so long in my mind since it was first announced that I've lost track of it now. I'm not sure if it was out and then faded away. I don't think so. But then how far away is it? And what we just mentioned, I think it is quite too far away from the release of 8, which it was never directly tied to, but that doesn't exactly matter. Sure. I was convinced it had something to do with 8, just like everybody else.
But yeah, it just kind of leaves you lingering, right? And that's the biggest problem. But we just have to wait. I'm curious to see how many people will go, you know what? I'm just done with The Last of Us. I don't know if any fan actually says that, though. Like for me, dude, do you want to drop DLC? I'm in. You want to drop multiplayer? I'm in. So I'm waiting, but it is unfortunate it's got to take that long for us to get back into what we fell in love with so quickly and so easily.
Yeah, you could have been buzzing off of the campaign and jumped in, but it's just not the case.
No, not at all. Instead, we've gone cold, completely cold, and you're just waiting on more. But it almost will feel like The Last of Us Part 3, but it'd be multiplayer instead. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel that's how long it's
going to be. There's an idea. If they wrap some sort of a storyline into what's going on, a la Titanfall 1,
turns into
I've got high hopes.
Complete open world Assassin's Creed RPG element. Oh, that would be awful. I like Assassin's Creed, but
it's an Among Us clone.
Man, but I'm excited to see what they bring to it. But either way, let's move on to what Horizon Forbidden West is up to next, because Gear will provide Aloy with new skills. Dude, that's exciting. You played Horizon Zero Dawn.
Yeah,
you did. There you go.
When it finally got to PC and I could experience it. I still don't have a PlayStation. I'm really behind on that. I understand.
Nobody has a PlayStation.
Having that on PC.
We can't find one.
True. That's funny. That's
there's a select few of us.
I really enjoy getting into that. And just as you mentioned the DLC prior, it was kind of a several hour event that was stitched on top of that game, but in the form of DLC. But I thought that was very good and exactly what I was hungry for at the time. It was great.
Absolutely.
So it has me looking forward to this release.
Oh man, I can't wait, really. But we're gonna have to wait till what, February, I believe, next year now before we get this.
I think it was midway through February, if I recall.
In a post on the PlayStation blog discussing how Horizon Zero Dawn's lead protagonist Aloy will shape up in the franchise, according to sequel, Guerrilla Games community lead Bo. Bo came from Frontier Development.
Oh,
yeah,
that's interesting. That piques my radar because Frontier is of course, a developer of Elite Dangerous, and
as well
that was my World of Warcraft. No, I didn't play World of Warcraft. I played Elite Dangerous.
Yeah, and they also worked on Zoo Tycoon and all those other games, right? So they're Frontier's a widespread studio, but Bo's always over there leading the community. She's now moved over to Guerrilla, and so I've been following Bo for a while, which is awesome. She's really cool. I'd like to actually get her on the show, but at another time.
Sounds like an all-star in the community, though. Really,
absolutely. But she spoke about the range of outfits that will be available to Aloy throughout Horizon Forbidden West and how the studio is building up versatility within the aspect of the game. Quote, Horizon Forbidden West will have a range of outfits for Aloy to benefit from, similar to and perhaps familiar for the first game outfits allow for protection against a variety of dangers that Aloy encounters and can be purchased from merchants or found in the world. A new addition to the system is that outfits in Horizon Forbidden West will have skills attached to them, so players can boost their abilities in different ways. Maximizing these skills, I thought so. Maximizing these skills happens through a new and improved skill tree. Oh, dude, something we will tell you more about some other time. Oh man! Elsewhere in the article, Guerrilla delved further into how development in the release of the PlayStation 5 has allowed the studio to add even more detail to Aloy and other character models across Horizon Forbidden West. No surprise there, you're going from PS4 to a PS5. So
yeah, her character now includes a 40 gigabyte texture pack. I mean, I'm joking, but it could very well be with this technology.
Exactly, yeah. We can create finer details such as peach fuzz, smooth contouring, or finer texture details and accurate material expression, to name a few, says Guerrilla lead character artist Bastian Ramis. I'm going to go with that. And yeah. And not only do visual aspects benefit from the new PlayStation 5 hardware, we also have increased the number of skeletal joints to bring our deformations and facial expressions to a whole new level for more credible and immersive character performance. Dude, I'm excited. I'm so excited.
Yeah. It sounds like the meat of that was just that we've dialed it up visually a lot. And that's exactly what I want to hear about, because Horizon now, keep in mind, I played it on PC. It looked amazing.
Sure. Well,
now they're talking about adding peach fuzz to Aloy. That peach fuzz is likely more data than. Okay.
She's got a 5 o'clock shadow going on.
It's the combined data of every character that was in Destiny.
Oh man, shots fired. It's it's really exciting to see, and a whole other skill tree, right? So now I'm like, man, we're gonna be grinding out for more stuff. I like this idea. Like, I really like.
This is something that I did not enjoy in the case of Assassin's Creed. I'm totally okay with them kind of reinventing it, taking a new look at that series and doing something new with it. I think that's great. But it didn't really fit my playstyle in the way that I wanted it to. In this game, however, it's almost the same thing that they're going to drop in, or very similar by the sounds of it. Yeah. And I think it fits really, really well. I like to play this game as a trapper. Okay. I really want them to just give me a trapper suit, up my defense against things, up my attack on traps, and I love having that carefully laid plan. I trigger a stampede and then run into my own traps. I love that. I'm excited.
It sounds like we're going to have more opportunities to fine tune our own playstyle. I think that's really what's starting to come around here for the next iteration of Aloy, which I think is a great addition to allow us to make Aloy feel like ours. You know what I mean? Instead of, oh yeah, so when you made it this part, you did this. Yeah, me too. You know what I mean? But we'll have different aspects of how we can craft our own story within the world of Horizon. And that's always exciting to me. Dude.
Yeah, it's quite the opposite of what happened to us in Anthem. Anthem, it was like, oh, my guy looks the same from 5 minutes in till 505 minutes in.
Ugh, I don't want to talk about that game anymore.
No, that one hurts.
That still stings, dude. I love that game, but it just broke my heart. Rest in peace, Anthem. Dude, what's not going to rest in peace though is Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic for the Nintendo Switch release date is announced. You're pretty excited about this one. I honestly, we're getting a remake. I don't want this on the Switch. The last place I want to play this right now is on the Switch. But if you're looking to get it right now, you can get it November 11th. That is coming. Scott, you're a big fan. I'm excited. I've never played it before, but I don't want to play it on the Switch knowing a remastered version is coming. Why would I get the lesser version?
I totally understand that. I can see that. I have the 2 copies of it for the original Xbox.
Nice.
So it's not that it's inaccessible to me, but I like the idea of them kind of repackaging it on the Switch. Seems kind of out of the norm, but it's something that I think will run well. I mean, I really hope the Switch can run that well, because we're talking about a 15-year-old title, so I really hope that works out. But just to get this back out into the market again, just to bring more people into it. And when I played this game originally, I think I was like 12 years old.
Oh man.
And I watched a friend of mine play the whole game. I was on the couch next to him. And it was just that enticing. It just pulled me right in. I loved Star Wars at the time, so it was a big deal. And I'm happy that a lot of people will hopefully get that experience for themselves.
Dude, everybody's talking about this game lately. Like just in the past month or so, like everybody's talking about it. It just kind of came out of nowhere. And then they dropped the news that it's getting remastered. It's getting a complete remake from the ground up by the sounds of things. And now they just brought it to the Switch. So if you're clamoring for this game as a nostalgia trip, here's your chance on November 11th until the remake comes out. And I'm curious to see a lot of the differences. I'm hoping for a lot more out of obviously a newer
There's
version.
a lot that they could do to it. Yeah.
So,
I do recall it being quite archaic, but
yeah, right. So
good nonetheless.
I can see them changing a lot of those mechanics, right, and updating it and bringing it to the new age of consoles and all that kind of stuff. Very exciting, man. I'm looking forward to getting into the new version, not necessarily the Switch version, but either way, it's there for fans to jump back into the nostalgia trip. Dude, we got some new things happening over in the world of Overwatch and Overwatch 2. Bastion will be wildly different in Overwatch 2. Scott, why don't you take this one? This is your character, man. This is your game.
That makes me a little nervous. Yeah, actually, right? That's funny you mention it. Bastion was my first main.
There you go.
Followed quickly by Rat Trap. And by that, I mean... well, really, I just mixed into the whole lineup after that. But Bastion is a standout. He's, of course, the robot guy with a little birdie friend that sits on his shoulder, and he can sit down into turret mode and then just hammer the enemy team. That was something I really enjoyed. But it has been kind of tweaked. There's a few changes that Blizzard has come out and talked about. And one was how Sombra is going to be quite different. They're going to do different things with her hacks. They will still disable heroes, but she'll also be able to show off the location of enemies to the team.
That's cool.
That's very important.
That's very helpful. Holy.
Yes, it really is. But it seems like she's mostly the same.
Right.
Just tweaking some of the powers. But Bastion seems to be quite different. He will be unable to heal himself now, which is definitely a big change because normally he could just kind of stand on his own. One part of the team distracts and Bastion just mows him down. But in this case, he will need a healer to kind of pocket heal him, really, which is
like Mercy.
Yeah, just like Mercy, but maybe Moira will get a little bit of an edge to this one. I like Moira, but it seems to be quite different. He has more firepower, can launch a tactical grenade that bounces or can stick enemies. This sounds interesting. I like this. And the grenade blows up quite large, and it also can do a lot of damage to teammates around him. So it becomes a big area of effect.
Yeah.
His weapon has what they're describing it as 0 spread and can function like a sniper rifle.
Wow.
So him having a recon weapon is already a little strange terminology. I'm not quite sure what that means, but it perhaps has something to do with the new Sentry Mode edition, which is instead of just turning into a stationary turret, he's supposed to be able to move around slowly. They say to deal rolling death, but it comes with a price. He can only do this mode, we'll call it tank mode, for 8 seconds, and it's followed by a 10-second cooldown. So you can't just spam tank
Keep
mode.
going, yeah.
Yeah, they need to balance it somehow, and I'm sure that's what the majority of the development time is going to be, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, sure. Are you excited for Overwatch 2 at all?
I am. I've thought about it a few times. I went from very excited to not so. And then I remembered, of course, somehow I forgot, there's supposed to be a single player to it. So I'm back in. I'm back on. I want to play more of that. And I hope they do more than they did with the events of Overwatch 1.
Sure.
But Overwatch was really big to me. That was kind of the esport game that I really got into. So if the second one sticks the landing, I think I'm back in.
Did you watch any of the esports stuff, Scott?
No, not specifically. I did see some, but I didn't follow any teams.
Dude, it's so fast. Yeah. I was like, wow, like it was hard to keep up because I'm not the biggest Overwatch fan at all. I have played and I had a good time playing, but I'm playing with a group of buddies, goofing around and just
you almost
hanging
have
out.
to have a team.
Well, yeah, no, you do, right? It is a team-based game. Going with some randoms isn't really the way to go, but it can be done. But going
It's
there,
slightly more enjoyable than Siege with a bunch of randoms.
I don't.
But it's just as fast though. That's what I thought of when you said it was quick. Well,
yeah, well,
pro level is
but yeah,
very quick.
The problem, if I watch Siege Pro Level, I can follow what's happening because I play that game so much. I just know the game inside and out myself to some extent, right? Not at pro level, but at least I understand what's happening in that world. To jump in at a randomized kind of fan base for myself for Overwatch, it was just like, this is chaos. There's like bells and whistles going off. There's shots fired here, shots fired there. Man,
colors exploding everywhere,
right? Like there was just like there's so many things just flashing and banging around and shooting. I was lost. I was like, oh my goodness. But yeah, either way, Scott, let's get into dude. We go from one day of like no releases to today we have 10. Holy
yes.
So what game?
And this is quite a packed list, so I'm going to try and get through this without too much commentary here. But
oh, we got a bit of time. Go for it, though. What do we got?
Beginning the list, we have Away, the survival series that is on PlayStation 4, 5, and PC. I'm not familiar with this one.
It's
but this is the entire series.
You're like a flying monkey.
Oh, that sounds interesting. All right.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's more interesting to me than Stray, and I'm all in on that one. We have a title that Nate and I took a look at on the show. We have a review of it up at the moment, and that was on PC that we looked at it. This is Chernobylite. It has now made its way to the consoles, namely the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One.
Yeah, nice.
If you're curious about that one, check that one out. That's all I'll leave it at. If you like anything Soviet-era science fiction, oh yeah.
There you go.
Now, Ghost Runner is on the Xbox Series SX and the PlayStation 5.
Dude, I want to play this so bad.
Oh yeah, we mentioned just before this. I think that's one that I really want to check out.
Yeah, for sure, hands down.
It looks awesome. It really does. And we have In Sound Mind, and that is on the PC, Xbox Series SX, and the PlayStation 5. This is a curious title. Kiwi, that is spelled Keywe, on the PlayStation 4 and 5. Not to be confused with the fruit.
Yeah, it's already out on the Switch, I believe.
Okay. We also have Lemniscate. This is one that's puzzled me for a while. I'm curious to find out more, but this is on PC, Xbox One, X and S, PlayStation 4 and 5. Then we have another one that was the subject of review. Neo, The World Ends With You, is now on PC. That one is, well, if you like JRPGs, I'll leave it at that. This one's definitely for you. It's, to sum it up quickly, it's Persona 5, but just a little different. And New World has launched on PC. That's a big deal. And I'm kind of watching with bated breath here because unfortunately Amazon games seem to expire quickly, but
well, that's just it. Like
this
is a huge title. They've really taken their time on this one, Scott. I think this one's going to stick around for a while. We joke about Amazon games just because they've shut down some of our favorite games.
Yeah, Crucible is cool, man.
Exactly. So we kind of harp on them a little bit, but at the same time, business is business, and if it doesn't work, then it doesn't work. And they sound like we caught an article last week, I believe, Scott, with the developer talking about how they kind of maybe jumped the gun a little bit with Crucible, but that's why they held back New World so they can make it polished and get there, and they have the feedback from the beta and stuff like that.
Much more calculated.
Yeah, it's cool. So yeah, we'll be watching from a distance, but we'll be watching closely.
Yeah, high hopes. Then we have Outer Wilds, Echoes of the Eye. That is on Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and PC. And lastly, Steel Assault on the Switch and the PC.
And just like that, Scott, dude, that's gonna wrap up today's show. What a list of games, man! Wow.
Yeah.
Holy. But yeah, Ghost Runner. I gotta check that one out. That looks so cool. But you can always catch our show InsideTheGame.ca, podcast services and TV streaming networks around the globe. I'm Drew, that's Scott. We'll see everybody tomorrow inside the game.